Hi guys, today's video is a creepy Halloween tutorial rather than a pretty one like my last one. So just start off by moisturizing your face just with any moisturizer. And then I'm just grabbing the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and just popping this all over my face and doing this funny look. And then grabbing my Rimmel Match Perfection foundation and mixing the two together just to give myself a whiter base and more of a grey based look, because that Jumbo Eye Pencil has a grey tone to it when you mix it together with things. Then I picked up this e.l.f. bronzer and popped that on my cheeks, but as you can see I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't right, so I moved to my AC On Tour contour kit and used a very grey based shade over the top of that to hopefully cancel out the orange that it gave, and just popping that on both cheeks, just trying to really carve and hollow out your cheeks, and then grabbing a Makeup Geek eyeshadow in black shade and popping that right in the hollows of my cheekbones. We just want to give ourselves a sickly, hollowed out look, and pushing the brush together like this can really help you to get that defined line. You can kind of just keep popping on the blacks and the grey based contour shade until you are happy with how dark it is and how hollowed out it is. And then I grabbed that black shadow again and contoured my nose. So basically I just contoured my whole face throughout this video as we would with brown, but I just used the black instead. And so I just placed that down the sides of my nose and then a little bit across the bottom of my nose, and then grabbed that brush again and just softened it up a bit so it wasn't so harsh. And then grab the NYX pencil in Milk again just to highlight that tip of my nose to make the black stand out. And then just powdered my face with a little bit of my CoverGirl powder just to mattify it and set it all. And then grabbing that pencil again, I just placed it underneath where I'd done my contour just to harshen it up, and it also added a bit of more of a grey tone to that area as well, which looked really creepy and I liked that. I then just quickly set that with a bit of the powder, and then I grabbed that black shadow again and contoured my jawline. So you can't really see, but I've just placed it along my jawline and I'm just dragging it down my neck. And then I moved on to the Chi Chi Elegance palette and grabbed a purple shade and begun the bruising look on my eye. So just placed it all over my lid and down that line underneath my eye, and basically just wherever I thought looked good. I was going off a photo and this is the places where they put it, so that was my inspiration. And I think once this eyeshadow hit my face, I immediately already looked bruised, so I was really happy with how that worked out. And then I grabbed this darker black shade and just popped that over the areas where I'd already placed that purple, and also just in a few different spots just to add some more depth and dimension. And then grabbed the Makeup Geek black just to add a bit more depth. This is a very, I think the other one was actually brown and this is just straight up matte black. And I went a bit too light with this. I wish I had put on a bit more, but I'm still happy with how it looked. And then I began creating a bruise on the side of my forehead. So I just popped a bit of the brown and the purple down, and then to really define it and bring it out, I popped a bit of that black on, and I'm really happy with this, how this came out. I was just mucking around and I think it looked really good. And then just grabbing this yellow shade just to add more of a realistic bruised look. The picture I was going off had yellow in it and it just makes it look completely real. So I placed that on the top part of my forehead and then just placed it in a few spots on my eye, and then when you see my face from the sides on a few angles, it really does add a bruised look, and I love how it looks. And that's probably slightly weird. Yeah, so just basically keep popping on whatever colour until you are happy with how it looks. I added more browns, more blacks as I'm doing here, more of the yellow, just keep on adding until you are satisfied with how it looks. I love how that eye looks at the moment. That yellow really adds to it. Just deepening it up with the black and blending it all together. And then moving on to a bit of this red, just to add a bit more of a sore and blood-like look to the bruise, sort of like the blood under the skin is coming up or irritated. Just pop that wherever you feel like putting it. That's what I did. I just put everything wherever I feel like it looked right, and this is how it turned out. Then grabbing this NYX lip liner, I thought this would work really well in my waterline because it was a deep red, and so I did put that in there. I don't know if you're supposed to use lip liners on your eyes, but I think it came out really well. It just made my eyes look quite sick and bloodshot, and I really like how it looked. Thank you, motorbike. So I just layered that on until I was happy. And then I went in with a bit of that red shadow again and just sort of placed that over the top of that and a little bit underneath the eye just to add to it. And then I moved on to my nose, and basically all the colours that I used on my eyes, except maybe the yellow, I think I just popped a bit of red, black, brown and purple in my nose just to sort of make my nose look a little bit bruised and a little bit battered, and just add to the look. And then grabbing the Makeup Geek black eyeshadow again, this was really handy for this video. Just ran a bit of that through my brows. I wanted my brows to be quite dark, bold, and this worked really well. I just sort of used it as a base, and then I grabbed my NYX eyebrow cake powder and placed this over the top using the darkest cool brown, and just ran that through as I normally would, and then took this little brush and ran it over the top and ran it backwards and forwards through my brows multiple times just to sort of mess them up a bit, make them look a bit unruly and a bit less harsh. Then I just grabbed some black shadow again and just sort of placed it around my forehead, really wanting to contour but quite harshly, so hollow out that side of my forehead and again add to that sickly look that I was going for, sort of the undead. And then placed a little bit underneath my lip as well, and then grabbing the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil again, I placed that around my lips to sort of grey out my lips and also fade them into my face so they weren't defined at all. And then using this Australis Velour Lips, which is the perfect blood colour I found. It was so handy. I placed this on the inside of my lips and dragged it out a little bit. I think this looked really creepy and awesome. And just layered that on until I was happy. And then placed a bit of the black shadow on the very inner of my lips just to deepen up that colour. And then taking the Velour Lips again, I thought I could use this under my eyes, and I was stoked with how well this worked. It looked so creepy, and it just really added to what I had done earlier with the red pencil. And yeah, basically just put that on until you're happy, and then I popped a bit in my nose as well to give myself a bloody nose, and then just blended it out a little bit with a brush, and then just packed on my mascara. Again, I can't put on fake eyelashes, so it was just up to the mascara to do the job, and just packed on as much as I could. This mascara is amazing also, if you're wondering. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it a few times already though, but yes, pick it up, the Lash Sensational by Maybelline. And then just grabbed a little Ulta lipstick just to further add to those lips, just where I put the black shadow. And then the fun part, this $2.80 blood from Daiso was awesome, but to make it drip, I had to pull some funny moves, as you'll see, but got there in the end. So I just wanted to make it look like I was crying blood. I know, how lovely. and then I just used a little brush to join that up to my eye so it wasn't completely touching my eye, and blended it up to that little ellipse red that I'd placed. And you just want to place as many of these blood tears as you like. I just thought 2 would look good, 2 on each eye, and then just use these little brushes, which are so handy as well, just to sort of drag the drip down just so it wasn't just a blob, and just blend out any areas that were too thick. And then moving on and do the same thing for the other eye. This wasn't meant to go near eyes and mouth, so that's why I didn't put it directly up to the eye and just join it up with the brush. And then I thought I'd add a little bit to my nose. Whoops! Yeah, that was fun to clean up. And we're back. So I just placed a little bit on this brush and started putting it in my nose, and then tried again with the drip inside my nose, and this time it worked. So I just let that run down a little bit, but blended it out just before my lips so it didn't get into my mouth. And then thought I'd add a second tear to the other eye, so I just did that, the same process. And just fiddle with those until you're happy, and then just kept touching everything up until I was completely happy with the look. And we are done. So here is the finished look. I think it's just going to be called Crying Blood. I'm not sure. It's just a creepy look that I really wanted to create. Hadn't done anything like this before, and it was so much fun. And yeah, so if you just want something simple for Halloween, this is basically all using makeup apart from the $2.80 blood. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give it a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.